is an opportunity to train properly, correct?
Yes. I think I just like the word or the phrase boundary busters. It's something that I think a lot of people, and when I talk with customers, I just hear it over and over again, that they have issues that they've tolerated to the point of complacency, to the point where they're like, this is just the way it is. Kind of like the phrase dogs bark. And yes, they do bark. You're right. And in fact, we say that over and over again because people in the store will go, we want a dog that doesn't bark. And I go, well, all dogs bark. Okay, so go beyond that, but you can train that.
Unless you surgically take out their voice box, which I don't think anybody would.
You are kind of violent a little bit today. What was it? Shooting and now taking voice boxes out.
I'm just wondering, is that a thing? We'll figure that out.
Off topic.
People had plastic surgery. Why would you not get plastic surgery for your dog?
Well, I remember when I was a little kid, there was somebody on the block that messed with the voice box on their dog's throat or whatever.
That's not good.
Oh, but it didn't. I thought it was odd because it didn't really help. The dog still went, kind of thing. There was noises, and I was like, did you really accomplish what you wanted? There are easier ways to go than that, is all I'm pointing out.
Such as maybe training your dog not to
training. So that is one of the 4 things that I have on here. Barking is one of those things that you go, hey, is this something that is occurring to the point where I always say, is it irritating you? Or is it irritating somebody in your house or in your close-knit family? Because here in my house, my kids will play with our dog to the point where Susie starts barking. They think that's funny and that's fun and it's what dogs do and all that kind of stuff. And I am around in the store, so I hear a lot of barking throughout the day. And when I get home, I go, I would like to have a little peace and quiet. And the dogs were peace and quiet. They were nice and all that, but you had to rile them up, did you? And now we got to calm them back down again. So obviously in this whole story here, if you're encouraging the barking and then saying, well, I don't want them to bark when, okay, we need to back all the way off on that and just say either encourage no barking or allow the barking kind of a thing. And in our house, that's what we had to do. For Susie, we had to clamp down and say no barking for the next 6 months so that she understands that quiet is a good thing. And then we reintroduced a little bit of play barking and all that kind of stuff. And that's where we are today. But let's say your dog is barking when the doorbell rings. What do you do then? Or when they see another dog, what do you do then, kind of a thing? And there's other scenarios, but once we get through this, you're going to go, oh, wait, I can apply this one over there and with this one over there. So for the door barking, don't encourage the barking, because when you pick that dog up when they're barking, guess what? They just got what they wanted. They wanted attention. And so now they're being held, and you probably are ogling over him as well. And like, oh, little buddy, you shouldn't be barking. It's not getting any indication that it did anything wrong. What I like to do with our dogs is just a quick timeout. This isn't anything like hours or anything like that. It's minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just putting the dog in the kennel. And yes, you can use the kennel for these types of situations, and the dog will still like the kennel, just like your child, when they get sent to their room, still likes their room. It's not that they associate something bad with the room. So I give Susie a little time out. If she's barking, I give her a little time out. She calms down. She goes, okay, I get it. I've collected my thoughts. I'm not supposed to bark. Okay, I can do better next time. And so then we get her out again. Another thing you can do prior, if company is coming over and your dog gets spastic, barky, and all that kind of stuff, let them out and run them around the yard and all that kind of stuff. Get a lot of that energy out. If your dog, so we talked about putting them in a kennel for a timeout, getting the energy out. If your dog barks with other dogs, this is one where you're going to want to pull back on your dog a little bit. So if your dog starts barking when you're, let's say, 100 feet away from another dog, it's very sensitive. Well, then don't go within 100 feet of that dog, but maybe you see the dog. Okay, so now you're 150. Praise your dog. Good dog. Calm. Everything's really nice. And you keep on doing that. You get a little closer, and no barking yet. Okay, good dog, good dog. But when you get to that 100 feet, you know when they're starting to get a little riled. And as soon as they start doing that, you go, Susie, Susie. And then like, you know, if they're staying calm, good dog. But when they start barking, all you want to do at that point is walk away from the dog with your dog. So I'd pull Susie away from that scenario so she stops barking. And when she stops barking, I go, okay, good Susie. So that you want to just keep on doing that. Repetition is key. Jerry loves that. Repetition and consistency are key to training. So that's the basics on barking. There are tools that you can use out there. They work effectively. One of my favorite ones for barking right now is the automatic bark collar that is a vibrating collar. It's a nice, easy, most people can go, you know what, I can deal with the vibration because it's about this feel of a phone when it vibrates, when the bells ring and all that kind of stuff. So that's barking. Let's go back. Let's go to potty training. I haven't said the word yet, Jerry. So here, we're 6 minutes in and we haven't said the word poop. Oh,
there it is, 6:35.
All right. So potty training. Hey, this one, find out what is specifically happening. Is your dog or cat going in the same spot? Are they generally going around? Are they going underneath the table? Are they going in the carpeting? Or whatever that is. There's a couple approaches you got to use on this. If your dog urinates or cat urinates in the house, you have to clean it up appropriately, and that's with the stain and odor remover
with enzymes.
There it is. 40% of our population know this product exists. The rest of them have no idea, even if they've had a dog for 30 years. This is a magic product that eliminates the smell that the dog interprets as pee here. It encourages them to bark or potty wherever that is. So you got to get the stain and odor remover with an enzyme in it. Now, once you've cleaned that up and you have to glug this stuff, it's not a spray thing. Now, encourage the potty outside. Make it the best thing ever when they do it outside. So there's 3 ways. Do you remember what the 3 ways to communicate to your dog in a loving way?
I do not.
Treats. What do you think the next one is?
Tickle. You should have seen Ron. You were looking like you were doing a fish gill thing. What was that?
It was scratching around the jaw.
Okay.
All right. And then
I'm not going to get the third one. So just
you won't.
Just get to the point.
It's vocal, so I can't do it. Comforting sounding tones, and you all know what that means with your dog. So whatever that, the stern voice is one voice, but the comforting, some ladies might have one thing. Oh, you're such a little cute, whatever those little things. That voice is comforting to them. You do all 3 of those things, and your dog will go, I want to do that again. So treats, scratching around. By the way, all 3 of these scientifically proven in trials that dogs respond positively with these. By far, the treat was the number 1, but then came in scratching around the jaw, and then third was the voice, comforting voice. So when they potty outside, you give them a treat, you scratch them on the jaw, and you go, good dog, good dog. And now that dog is going to go, whoa, I just got loving big time. And you then encourage that every single time. So every time they do that outside, they're going to do it. Now, what do you think the dog's thinking? When they're inside, they're like, I got to go bad. If I just go right here, it'll feel so good. But wait, I want that treat. I want that nice scratch, and I want that nice reaffirming voice. So I'm going to hold it, but I'm going to go to Jerry and look at him real sincerely and then run towards the door. And then so now let him out and do all that. Right, Jerry? That's the way it works, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So that's potty training. So clean up the mess appropriately, use treats, scratching, and comforting voices. So do you get where what I just told you, you can use this in other ways? So if your dog is doing something that you want them to continue to do those 3 things, and that you're going down the path of training. So that is potty training. Biting. Okay, I got to introduce you to a training technique that is very easy and kind to the dog. And if I had our miniature schnauzer, I would show you on we're on YouTube and we're on live on Facebook. I'd show you right now, but one of the sales
which is not uncommon for it to walk out the studio. But
if you were watching on YouTube, which you can still watch, it's recorded. You just search out PAWSitively Petland Show, and it'll pop up. And then, or you can go to our Facebook, Petlandiowacity, and you'll notice Beth came in. And if you did notice, Beth was laying on the ground getting the little doggy out. It was kind of fun. All right. So if your dog is even like, oh, well, it's teething, it's a puppy, this is the great time to start biting training as a prevention. It's called the rollover. Here, Jerry, let me demonstrate on Jerry. And he's like, no.
Boundaries right here.
Boundary.
There's a plexiglass wall right there.
I'm not going to be allowed to be a boundary buster today. All right. So you're going to do the rollover. Basically, the rollover technique is taking the dog, turning it over on its back, putting it on your lap. So right now, you got to picture this.
I did this last year.
Yes. Belly is up, legs are up, head is towards your stomach, tail is at the end of your knees. That's the basic position.
Works with smaller dogs.
Works with larger dogs. Sometimes you have to do them actually off to the side if they're really heavy dogs, or you are on the ground. Where a smaller dog, you can pick them up and be in a chair. On a bigger dog, you're down on the ground with your legs out, and then having the dog on your legs that way. Kids need to do it that way oftentimes as well. So your hands, what are you doing with your hands? Right now, you have your fingers into their armpits, those on the front armpits of the dog, and you're holding on firmly so that the dog is controlled. If you allow the dog to turn back over at this point, the dog got its way, and the dog says, haha, I'm in charge of you now. And so that's why you want to be in control. For some people, this is going to be a struggle. If it is, come on in, either talk to the trainer if you're working with a trainer, or come into our store. We'll demonstrate it for you there to show you how to do it. There's some people that just need to understand you can't let the dog turn over, but he's wiggling. That's okay. You just keep on holding that dog. This is called a submissive position for the dog. The dog looks at it as, oh, you're in charge. I'm not. Oh, I have a Schnauzer in the studio now. Here, can I have this little one? So if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, you're going to have them on your lap. I'm going to do it on the table, and your fingers are going to go right into their armpits like I'm showing there. So if you wanted to tune in there, you can see it now. All right, and what you'll notice is the dog will look up at you. Their legs will be kind of tense, but then they will start relaxing, and they'll go kind of frog leg on you. And that's the dog just naturally doing, it's okay, you're in charge. If it's wiggling, just hold on, because in about a minute to 10 minutes, they're going to relax. But you have to hold on. And this is first step for those dogs, because in the future, they're going to be a lot easier. The little Schnauzer that we have in here is continuing to stare at me, but is relaxing more and more and more. This is a beautiful little salt and pepper Schnauzer, and is very, it loves to be held and all that kind of stuff. So this one's a little easy on that side of things. But all dogs can do this. So biting, you're going to now use this position whenever your dog bites. So let's say you're playing with the puppy and all that kind of stuff, and the dog, either aggressively, if this is an advanced older dog, or if it's a puppy and it's just kind of playing, and it puts its mouth, it intentionally puts its mouth over your teeth. It's not just licking like it is right now. You will then turn that puppy over. You can even cradle them like a baby, and you're going to have your hand on their chest at that point. And you can then follow up with a strong no. You don't have to yell it. It's just a strong no. You want those lower tones to come out, and you've done it right when the dog looks up at you. It's like a no, but it's a little firmer than that. Ladies, you need to get that low bass tone out. And I've often said with the ladies, do a grr or something like that, because that helps you get it out easier. So grr, it doesn't matter what you say. You can actually come up with a funny phrase, and that'll be good for you. And now the dog is looking at you and says, ooh, something's going on. This is a very brief training tool in that you do it, you say no, the dog calms down fairly quickly. Now you go back to normal mode. Now, next time it does it, could be 3 seconds from now, you do it again. You roll the dog back over again. You do no, or the grr or whatever. And so that's that repetition thing. Because the first time you did it, they had no idea what you were doing. They don't know why you did it or anything. But about the 10th to 20th, they're starting to pick up on the pattern. The more you do it, the more they're going to go, oh, I get it. That rollover thing, you're in charge. You did it right when I barked or bite or bit or whatever. Okay, I'm not supposed to do that. I get you. I'm going to stop doing that. This is over time. So also training is like a 5 to 10 minute a day or a session, and then stop, because the dogs get irritated with that as well. And then, so that's biting. So that's how you handle those biting situations, whether it's when you pick your dog up or you're handing your dog to somebody, or let's say you sit down on the couch. I've seen this a couple of times where they sit down on something and the dog says, that's my couch, get off of it. And they come over and they give you a little bite, whether it's on the leg or the arm or whatever. It doesn't seem all that aggressive, but what they're doing is they're saying, that's mine, get off of it. So what you would do is do the quick rollover at that point. And then finally, I was trying to think of things that people get irritated with. That jumping up thing, when you walk in the door, some people find that irritating. Some people love that. Jerry, you're one that likes that. I would bet that you like it when the dog jumps up on you and like wants to give you some licks and hugs and all that.
In certain cases, yes. Other times, no.
Okay. So what Jerry's bringing out there is important. So at the beginning, if Jerry says, overall, no, I like it sometimes in certain situations. So in that situation, train them to not jump up and do that for a good 6 to 12 months. Get them really consistent so that they won't do it. Then you can slowly squeak in those certain scenarios. When would you like it, though?
When I'm in a good mood.
So the dog needs to understand when you're in a good mood.
Is that an honest answer?
That is a very open and honest. So if your dog is jumping up and you want them to stop it, the first thing to do is just turn around. Because just think of what's happening here. And again, this is what you want to apply, not maybe the turning around, but the approach. When the dog is doing something, why are they doing it? So when they're jumping up on you, they want attention. They want you to pick them up. They want to do something. Make sure you don't give them what they're looking for. My wife, Wendy, the dog does jump up on her. Why? Because every time they do it, she picks them up. Well, you are training the dog to jump up on you at that point. My dogs don't jump up on me at all. When I walk in the door, they come to my feet and their little rear ends get all wiggly. It's because they know they can't jump up, or they know if they jump up, nothing happens. But they know if they just get wiggly down there with all their excitement and stuff, they know I'm going to praise them and have fun with them. So all I did was I turned around, did a 180-degree turn. Now they went, wait, I was going to get attention. Now I can't even get attention. He's looking the other way. So just simply turning around is all you need to do. There's a little bit more advanced, but if you continue to do the turnaround, your dog will understand over time.
What's your website?
We are petlandiowacity.com. I'll be posting a blog on this fairly quickly here within the next week to get that going, and so that you can learn more about it and maybe refresh on some of these points. And you can also see all of our puppies online. You can see other training tips. You can learn about breeds. You can look up, we've got the little miniature Schnauzer if you're interested in that. Go to our website under breeds. Just look up M for miniature Schnauzer and read about it. It's a really nice, quick way to say, hey, is this the right pet for me kind of a thing.
And do you have any specials going on?
We always have a monthly special. Those are also going to be on our website here in another day or two. So check out our ads. Make sure you take advantage of those, because when we get specials from our suppliers, we pass them along to you so that you guys get it as well. So we've got a bunch of specials every day in our store, but you can't beat these two specials. Buy 10, get one free on all of our dog food. I had somebody just yesterday, no, that's okay. I go, really? There's no gimmick on this thing. It is that easy. We sign you up for it and you get it for free. And then the $5 nail trim. Just need your vaccination schedule. No appointments necessary. $5. Yes, that's all it is.
Positively Petland show Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock on Iowa City's News and Sports Station, 800 KXIC. Have a great Sunday.
Thanks, Jerry.